Hey y'all, I'm Shayna and I'm back with another review. This is for Love is Blind Season 6, The Reunion. I was about to give it to the Lachey's and say, okay, finally y'all did that. We stepped it up, this reunion. But it started off good and then they dropped the ball in some areas. We're going to talk about it. Let's go ahead and get into it. If you enjoy being here, I would love to have you. So please don't hesitate to subscribe, watch the video all the way through, and if nothing else, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, please. Okay, so for the first time, we see former cast members. We see a live studio audience. I thought I heard people chuckling and stuff in the background before when they tried to do that live thing that last time and it didn't work and it messed up our TVs, but maybe not. But anyway, all I can think is, where are the OGs, Lauren and Cameron? If they ain't there, then we don't need to see nobody else. If they're not there, then who cares? Now, I did go to Lauren's Instagram because I was just so upset, and she said that they was busy. So there's that. But more importantly, I wish I would have never pointed out how often Clay blinks. Like, he was blinking so hard, I got the blinking. I'm like, goodness gracious, is it dry eye? What is going on? Why are you nervous? Thinking about what you're going to say next? Why are you blinking so hard? And not only that, but he was sitting up there, plopped up on the couch like he had a knife in his back. Like, loosen up, relax your shoulders. Like, what's going on? Anywho, so we start off with Snooze Fest, Amy and Johnny. And then out of 6 seasons, 9 couples are still married today. 11 couples got married and 9 couples are still married. I thought a few more couples would get divorced by now, but that's neither here nor there, okay? We see a montage of all of the couples from the previous seasons. Gigi was there with her man, who is not from Love is Blind, so I don't think he should have been sitting up there like he was a part of the cast. I mean, I know she's pregnant, but he wasn't a part of the cast, so he shouldn't be up there. But I mean, I guess. Vanessa finally got the Love is Blind babies that she wants. And I was like, where is Bliss? But we got to see them later on, so I'm fine with that. So we move on to Jeremy and his Hawaiian shirt. And for the past year, he and Sarah Ann, because Sarah Ann came out, he and Sarah Ann been living together. Now, me, I couldn't be a man's second pick, ever, especially on TV. So Laura comes in via Zoom. She's somewhere, child. And finally, the Lachey's asked the burning questions. They asked about what's going on in these streets, okay? They didn't film this reunion weeks and weeks back. They filmed it recently when all the stuff is going on. Like, they want to see what was on the streets. They've been on the Twitter, the TikTok. They've been on all of it, okay? So they asked about his former fiance. Laura and Sarah Ann both confirmed that he did mention he was previously engaged before. He told y'all he was engaged 2 weeks prior to coming on the show, and y'all was like, fine with me. Really? He should have been engaged long time before he got on the show. Not 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks prior. That's crazy, but okay. Vanessa asked Jeremy why he lied about going to Sarah Ann's house. And child, he gave some long-winded book around the bush, up the block, down the street answer. He basically tried to avoid it, and he'll never tell the truth. It didn't work when you did that with Laura, and it's not going to work now. So Laura calls Jeremy a clown, and he is. And baby, when I tell you I am not a Laura fan, I have not liked Laura from the start. I didn't like the way she was speaking to him. I didn't like the way that she played victim with the bean dip situation, like he was wrong when she shouldn't have said it in the first place. But Jeremy is still a clown. I think out of all the guys, he's the worst. I think him and Trevor was neck and neck, but I think he's the worst. Now, Sarah Ann chimed in and unprovoked and said she's not a pick me. She's not a pick me girl. Girl, you a pick me girl. Okay. But Laura was like, look, yes, you are. You are a pick me. Jessica, she says, congrats. You got your moment. My thing is, why is she here? I know that Chelsea kept mentioning her on the show. I don't think she had enough of an impact personally, besides the EpiPen comment, to be sitting up on stage and having so much to say. Like, she was so boisterous. Like, she spoke every chance she got. Like, she was really going toe to toe with Sarah Ann. Like, okay, at least Sarah Ann's with Jeremy today. Why are the women who got rejected up here? We ain't never had this before. I guess they said, look, ain't enough of y'all got married, ain't enough drama going on, so we gonna have to, incorporate some mess where we can. Now, a lot of people think that Jessica is a plant, and I think so as well. I think they placed her there because since when did we start having single moms on Love Is Blind? And I'm a mother, so I'm just saying. So, no one believes that they just talked until 5 a.m. For me personally, I have been up in a car like after a date or whatever and talked to someone till the wee hours in the morning, and we just talked and we didn't kiss and we didn't hug and we didn't do anything. We literally just talked. I've done that several times and nothing's happened. However, in this situation, the way they handling it, I don't believe them. It seemed like a lie, allegedly. We see an unseen clip from the lake where Sarah Ann apologized to Laura, and Laura was way more calm than AD was, and that's why I hate everybody going up for AD. I'm glad she got her together. Why? If Laura ain't getting it together, why is AD? I did not like that AD shouldn't have been in a business. It wasn't her place and none of her business. And why? Let them handle their own mess, okay? So Jimmy's name was mentioned during the convo where Laura stated that Jeremy said, now he looks worse than Jimmy. Jimmy never really gave me like bad guy. I don't know. I will say at first I was not a Jimmy fan either. But Chelsea was so unbearable, I almost forgot the disdain I used to have for Jimmy. Now, Jimmy said in the past when he was so, indecisive and he just couldn't make a decision and all the guys gathered around him and uplifted him. And he said Jeremy was the only one who was like, well, at least I can sleep well tonight knowing Jimmy's the villain. Like, anyway. So we found out Sarah Ann unfollowed all the ladies after the lake party. They kicked her out the ladies' group text, their group chat. Chelsea said that every time she sees Jeremy in the streets, he said that he and Sarah Ann are broken up. And he was like, I only seen you once. And she was like, it was twice. Either way, I'm like, why are we spending so much time on this? When I say we spent a good half hour of the hour and a half on this alone, like what was happening? So Vanessa was about to let Laura go, and Laura was like, wait a minute, are we not going to address Bean Dip? And I thought that was crazy. Like at that moment for me, they dropped the ball and there was no more. Like, why is the cast asking these questions? Bean Dip was such a big ordeal when they were on the vacation. Why is Laura asking about this? And now she gets to paint the narrative the way she wants to, because y'all wasn't even going to mention it. Y'all was like, all right, bye, have a good day. And she's like, wait a minute. I want to apologize. That's crazy. And then they was just like, okay. They didn't ask AD how she felt or how she feels now. They didn't ask anything. They were just like, all right, well. They didn't mention the way that AD's body was objectified, sexualized, and everything else on that trip. Now, maybe AD didn't make a big enough deal about it, or they were like, look, we don't want to get in the middle of that. No, it needs to be addressed. Child, whatever. I still, Vanessa, because she made a little comment later, and I wrote it down somewhere, so we're going to get to it. So next, we got Trevor and his mullet coming out. The Lachey's immediately get into the mess, okay? And they pulled out the receipts of Trevor texting his ex, lying, saying he was going to marry her. Nick asked him, what does he have to say for himself? He was doing the Beyonce Mute Challenge. He was like, I had so much to say that I had wrote down. Say it now, okay? We don't care. Just say what you got to say right here, right now. He agreed to come on here, right? So don't come on here and then get all mute. Say what you got to say. And AD was like, nah, say it with your whole chest. So Trevor act like they weren't officially together and all this stuff, like getting into technicalities. A clown. Okay? Nick had enough. And he was like, but you was telling her you loved her, you was going to marry her. Like, what? Where would she get an idea from that y'all was actually officially a couple? They even read the text messages. That was crazy. So once again, it's dragged on like hell. Trevor asked to leave when it was getting a little too hot. for him. It was hot up in the kitchen. And they was like, anyway, so did you come for clout? They did not care. And I saw online somewhere that Jeremy was like, oh, Trevor asked to leave several times and mental health is real. He did this. He signed up for this and he came to this. He could have very easily declined. He chose to come up there with his khakis on and sit down. So have a seat and answer these questions and get all this smoke. He didn't clear nothing up and he didn't make nothing look any better at all. So, he basically was like, no, he didn't come for clout and what career and all this stuff. Now, I heard he was supposed to be on the next season of Perfect Match. I wonder if he's still going to be on it by the time the show airs, because him saying, oh, I just came on here just to like be an influencer and all that stuff. Yeah, we know that's what y'all coming on here for, but you can't say it. Like, come on now. And he was texting the girl at the airport. Like, wait till you all the way away from production at home, back at your house before you start doing that foolish stuff. So we move on to AD and Clay. And Clay is basically acting like the old woe is me. I don't deserve love. And I was just such a bad person. And I'm just so apologetic approach. He said that he made a mistake saying no at the altar. I do not think he made a mistake saying no at the altar. He said he wasn't ready. He didn't look ready, didn't sound ready, still don't look ready. And he need to stand on it. You said what you said. And you ain't changed it. Okay? So he starts professing his love for AD. I think this might have been the first time I ever heard him mention that she was beautiful. Vanessa asked if they would date each other again. He said yes, 1,000%. And AD was like, and her little baby voice, next question. And then AD was like, you know what? Because you had your chance with me and you played in my MFing face. So you had your chance and you blew it. Okay. Thank God you blew it. Thank God I dodged a bullet. You hear me? You're done. It ain't happening. And I was like, yes. But do I think that AD is done with him? Absolutely not. I think she's going to spin the block. So, and I just wrote down, I'm like, that's why they need to stop casting people through their DMs on all of these shows. This one, Love Island, you know, that's a show he should have been on. Ready to Love, stop sliding in people's DMs. Yeah, I think people who apply for the show may also be looking for clout, but they may also be like, look, I'm ready to get married. And if I can meet my husband, it's a chance I can meet my husband in 4 weeks or 10 days and get engaged. I want to do it. They may be a little more intentional and serious. Look through those applications with people who want to be there and stop fishing for people on Instagram. So Clay, just like his father, starts crying crocodile tears. And I don't understand why I saw these comments. All these people, especially my sisters, y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Telling AD, girl, you better go get your man back. You better not let that good man go. You better give him another chance. Spin the block. No. When y'all gonna get tired of toxicity? Struggle love? When are y'all gonna root for someone to be loved correctly the first time? Not you had to, when I saw a therapist, I saw a couple 1 or 2 times, and then I did my work. I went and saw somebody. I went and saw the lady. No. He's not, I don't even think he's still in therapy from the way it sounds. Sounds like he went, he did it, he's done, just so he can say he did it. When are y'all gonna root for somebody to be loved right? Love me the first time. Appreciate me the first time. If you say no to me at the altar, you done. But anyway, so AD said that because they asked about Clay's mom and, you know, that speech that she gave his dad. And she was like, I didn't want to be Clay's mom in the long run, respectfully. Girl, yes, she did. Last time I checked, Clay said no. And you said yes. So yeah, you did. And we're not going to act like, you watched the show back and you found out stuff you didn't know. Everything he said behind the scenes and to other people, he said to your face. He said he wasn't ready. He said it's a no for him. He said, I hope I don't cheat on you every chance he got. So it's not this, nothing new was said. So you knew what you were getting into, and you did want to be like his mother. I think a problem with a lot of women, especially, they want to be married. They don't care. Because somebody made a comment like, is it better to be, have a failed engagement or be a divorcee? For a lot of people, or women especially, it's better to be a divorcee because then you can go around and say, I was a wife. Well, I was married. Well, I was the wife. And you get to brag on the fact that you were the wife. She even said, oh, I'm the first of my 7 siblings to get married. Like it was a badge of honor. Who cares? Because you the way he said things, how he was his mind frame, the marriage wouldn't have lasted. And but anyway, we need to stop putting so much of ourselves into like tying it to a relationship. But whatever. So Clay confirmed that Brett was the man that he saw when he was watching, because remember, he never watched Love is Blind before he signed up. He just heard reality show, Netflix, and signed the dotted line. He didn't even read the contract, child. So he saw Brett was that stand-up husband and great gentleman, and he was like, wait a minute. Hell no, I don't want to do this. I didn't know it was this serious. Okay, I thought this was a dating show. Oh, wait a minute. I thought I could say no. Anyway, so then him and Brett had a heart-to-heart conversation. It was like, yeah, as a black man, because Brett was like, I didn't have a great example either, but black man to black man. This is the conversation Clay needed before he walked down the aisle. This is the conversation he needed from his father that he didn't get. When his father was talking about Jack and Jill went up the hill and all that stuff, this was the kind of conversation he needed. But Brett, after Brett got done talking to him, Tiffany shares that Brett is an amazing husband. Why didn't the Lachey's ask about AD being with Clay's family on Christmas or Thanksgiving, whatever day, the holidays? Everybody saw that clip. You up here dancing with his family. Well, she wasn't just with him. She was with his mama and them, his family, his sister. Why was that not addressed? Yeah, she going back. So we see Amy and Johnny's their first year. We saw I like the JCPenney pictures. I love when people do those JCPenney photos. But other than that, congrats, nothing to see here. I mean, I know y'all want the birth control thing. I'm going to say this. For me, I think the birth control may have been a little issue because, he want the raw dog so bad. He want to hit it raw. He don't like to use protection, okay? But I think they blew it out of proportion. Like, I think they made it into a big deal. I think it was produced drama because they didn't have nothing going on. And they were so boring. And it's a shame because it's like they didn't live in this boring. It's boring. It didn't give me like that warm, like, I don't want to keep throwing Lauren and Cameron into it. But Lauren and Cameron didn't have a lot going on. But they gave us hope. They gave us some warm and fuzzies. Like, we want to have a couple to root for. Johnny and Amy weren't that for me. They were just boring. But they had to have at least one couple get married. Goodness, Lord knows they didn't make it. They wouldn't have had nobody. But I think they just did all that birth control stuff because they got to have some kind of discourse. So not Chelsea from season 6, what season was she on? 4 or whatever. Kwame's Chelsea asked a fan question. And speaking of Kwame, I still don't think he's into Chelsea. I never thought he was into Chelsea. I don't even know why they still together. I thought they was going to be on the chopping block. I thought they was going to be next to get divorced. I don't know if because Chelsea made a comment later on that they coming up on 2 years married. I don't know if he's staying with her because it's like, oh, well, she's aesthetically, maybe that was when he wanted, someone clear, blonde hair. So he's just like, well, I got it. Might as well make it work. Or if he got a point to prove, because everybody's like, they ain't gonna make it. So he just staying because he like, look, I got a point to prove. We are gonna make it, whether I want to be here or not. I don't know, but I don't see it for him. I don't feel no connection with them, no chemistry, no nothing. So we get to the fan questions. Jessica was asked if her daughter watched the show. She said Autumn got to see a few scenes, and she tried dragging on and get all teary-eyed. Girl, please, you when I say you dragging this 15 minutes, child. So a fan asks, were condoms not an option for Johnny and Amy? No, because he wants to hit it raw. A fan asked Chelsea how she felt knowing that Jessica was plotting to get Jimmy the same way Sarah Ann was with Laura. And it was disrespectful, but they let it go because, Jessica's daughter called her Auntie Chelsea. How long? Yeah, y'all did. Oh, okay. Okay. I think they're playing each other close for a reason. But Jeremy shares his location with Sarah Ann. He shared it with Laura. I would stop sharing it if I were him, but okay. So Jimmy was asked how his friends with benefits felt after Chelsea exposed their secrets. And his friend she's pissed. Okay, she's upset because why did you say something, especially to that girl who's so insecure. Nick asked the cast if they thought Chelsea was wrong for sharing that secret on the camera. Jeremy says yes, just like I was wrong for exposing Bean Dip. You were not wrong for exposing Bean Dip. Like, yeah, some things you just keep between couples, but because it wasn't like Laura just made a little jokey joke. Like, she's told him to do it. What if he did it? When I say lawsuit on his hands, oh baby. But yeah, he brought it back up because he feels guilty about it. But now instead of feeling Laura gets to get away and she's the victim and he's the villain with that. And then here go Vanessa. Talking about what? Are we going back to Bean Dip? Why are we going back to Bean Dip? Because y'all didn't correctly address it in the first place. That's why. And it was all around wrong. I know AD the only Black woman there, so she probably felt uncomfortable, like, I don't really want to say the wrong thing or whatever. But you got to stand up for yourself, girl. We would have had your back. Everyone gave Chelsea grace and whatever. They were like, well, I mean, because it was a part of her. No. She's talking about, I forgot the cameras was there. I saw pictures of the camera crew in their house. You cannot forget all them people and them big cameras and them lights was there. You cannot forget that all that stuff is there. I mean, I know she was drunk, but come on. So AD was like, we didn't even know you was that insecure, Chelsea. Like, it's crazy to watch that side of you. Of course, duh. You were not engaged to her. Y'all not in that kind of relationship. Y'all not in an intimate relationship. It's not a romantic relationship. So you're not going to know that side of her. Jimmy told Jess that she's stunning and gorgeous. Chelsea looked, when I say 48 hot, Chelsea looked ain't enough spray tan in the world could have hid the way her face looked. I know she was burning red up under all that makeup. Jessica said that she didn't like that Jimmy threw her under the bus during the interview. Jimmy told his truth. From everything that she said, I feel like, what did he say wrong again? I feel like he told his truth from how his experience was. He didn't really say anything that threw her under the bus. Child, we didn't even known about the interview. She didn't bring it up and start crying and acting like, oh, you just said so many bad things about me. And you said I had a good edit as if what I went through wasn't real. Like, you did have a good edit because otherwise you wouldn't be sitting here. I don't know why she's here. But okay. I'm like, girl, you wasn't even on the show long enough. Like, he got asked a question. He's going to get asked more questions because unlike you, he made it out of the pies and almost to the altar. So she felt the way. I feel like she blew us out of proportion and making it an attempt to make him look bad. Vanessa was looking at him sideways. Vanessa just be so biased. Like, I don't know. Maybe Nick should host alone. I don't know. But she just getting a little too much airtime for me. I wanted to know if Chelsea and Jimmy are still dating or if they continue to date after the show, because we found out that they were in Florida together and they from Charlotte. So why were they in Florida together? What was the reason? So, I mean, I need the answers, but we never got them because as the time went by, Nick and Vanessa stopped asking questions. But they also, well, Chelsea mentioned Megan Fox Gate, okay? Megan Fox, Faux. And she was like, it was just a silly little comment and it just got blown out of proportion. It was not no silly little comment. You knew what the hell you was doing when you made that comment. And you didn't say, oh, you know, sometimes people say I look like Megan Fox, but I don't think. He was like, what's her name? NGK's girlfriend or his wife or I don't know who. And he was like, Megan Fox, like, oh, that's what they say. But you know, it's just the eyes and just the eyes in the mouth. No. Every white person with blue eyes does not look like no Megan Fox, especially you. Girl, you knew what you was doing. They want to tell me, I'm so proud of myself. I handled it so well. You wouldn't have had nothing to handle if you didn't say it, girl. You just knew he was about to pick Jessica. Now, hold on real quick, y'all. Okay, we back. So we see video footage of Bliss and Zach's baby shower. And I know y'all love them. And I like them too. But I'm glad they're doing great. I just always feel like, I don't know. I got to get over the fact that he didn't pick her first. Like, will we? But at least they let him go back and spin the block, which was great. And Bliss ain't say nothing to him. She was like, "Child, you pick somebody else. Goodbye." And so he came crawling back. So I mean, I'm glad it worked out. Now they're having their baby. He wanted a baby girl, so they're having a baby girl. Alexa and Brennan are 5 months pregnant. Child, I'm gonna be honest, I almost forgot about them. Shout out to them. They were going to start IVF. They were having fertility issues, but they actually conceived naturally 2 months prior to starting the IVF journey. And I always love when people share, those type of things because it's such a common. I didn't realize how common that those fertility issues are, and so I like when people are transparent about it. And it's good to see. It seems like every time somebody's going through that process, a lot of times things just happen naturally. So shout out to them. Congratulations. We move on to Kenneth and Brittany. Child, we ain't spend much time on them at all. When I say they ain't hardly asked them no questions. So they discussed not having premarital sex. And then Kenneth said he was on his phone 24/7 because he a principal and, he had work duties. And man, please. You was also on IG, TikTok, Facebook, okay, Twitter, MySpace. You was, looking at your bank statements. I mean, you was doing everything but talking to this lady. We didn't even. I wanted to ask why she keeps saying she identified as white and he identified as black. Could we please? I need her to get that identified word up out her vocabulary. Kenneth said that he was hurt by the breakup, and he was like, everybody processes things differently, and just because I look like I didn't give a damn, I was hurt by it. Like, you did it. You literally jumped up out of nowhere and was like, well, you don't like that I'm on my phone? It's over. But they're the best of friends now, so I guess we coming on this show looking for friendship, okay? It's friendship blind. So then we see Matthew saying, he said the same thing to Amber and to AD in the pods. And Vanessa gonna say, do you think Matthew said the same thing to both of you? And AD was like, yeah. Like, what did we just watch for 2 minutes? Vanessa, girl. So AD was upset because she shared details about her dad and his passing and intimate moments and how she felt with him not being able to walk her down the aisle, and for him to turn around and say the same thing to Amber was just crazy. However, she met up with AD. She met up with Matthew a few times afterwards. So it didn't bother you that bad, because if it was so bothersome, you would not be meeting up with that man. If you just wanted to see what he looked like or whatever, the one time, fine. But she said she went on 2 to 3 dates with him and let him cook for her at his home. And what y'all think was happening in his house after he got done cooking that chicken and rice? I don't know. I'm just saying. Ain't no way you would have been chasing down the other woman after you just played in my face. AD keep letting people play in her face, and I don't like that. She let the women play in her face with the mean did. She let the men play in her face, and then she let them come back. Remove your access to these people. Child, I don't know. And judging from her mama, when she told her mama Clay wasn't coming home at night, and the mama just overlooked it, that maybe that's where she get it from. I don't know. Everything else that was mentioned was irrelevant. I forgot. I was like, who was that up there talking about they gonna be a perfect match? Micah. I done forgot. Child, when I say by the time the new season be coming on, I done forget them. I forgot about all these other people. They don't store in my memory bank. Because I'm like, who is that blind woman sitting up there? Who is that? What season was she on? Child, but yeah, nothing else was really interesting. We got everything we needed to get out. I think they need to do a reunion where they let we the people ask the questions. Because the Shades they did a lot better. I'm gonna give them grace. They did a lot better. I don't know, the producer, somebody behind the scenes was helping them. But they dropped the ball in other areas. They should have been, they asked fan questions on the cards. Go to the audience with the microphone like Wendy Williams used to do, and Oprah and them, Ricky Lake and Jenny Jones used to do, and put the microphone in their face and let them ask their own questions. But anyway, that was the reunion. Y'all know they done filmed the next couple of seasons. So we're going to be back here, okay? Check out my other content. And I'll be happy to see y'all in the next one. Bye.